When we found out we were pregnant with Riley, we were super excited. We had Jace very easily. Then we started trying for a second, and I was just running into some infertility issues. So after 5 years of trying, I finally got pregnant thanks to modern medicine. We felt like, okay, everything's gonna be good. We've gone through a lot with getting pregnant. We've gone through a lot with Jace's baby. This is gonna be our time to just enjoy an easy pregnancy and hopefully an easy baby. They were like asking me, were you in a car wreck? The size of this hemorrhage is massive. They had a high-risk doctor come in and look at everything. They said, you have a subchorionic hemorrhage and you're gonna pass the baby probably in the next like 3 to 5 days.
I think the first thing that kind of really hit home and started understanding, like the reality of what was going on is Katie's water broke at 21 weeks, give or take. I think that was the first time we thought about like, hey, this might not work.
In the state of Oregon, they won't try to save your baby until 24 weeks. If I had the baby at 23 weeks, there would be nothing they could do. They wanted to induce me right away. She's like, this isn't good. I looked at the doctor I had and I was like, hey, it doesn't seem like I have a chance, but I feel like in my heart I have a chance. So I just looked at him and I said, what would you do if I were your wife or your daughter? Where would you want them to go? And he said, you need to get to RiverBend, like now.
One of our first encounters was with Dr. Leonard. We just met with the doctors here and got the, like, hey, look, if your baby's born at this week, we're not gonna revive him. If he's born at this, the doctors are split. And then we get over to RiverBend and meet Dr. Leonard. And he's like, oh yeah, it's go time. He's like, we'll be fine.
Honestly, from the conversations we had here, I had kind of prepared myself for similar conversations and it was night and day different. He's like, oh no. He's like, you're gonna stay pregnant. He's like, you've stayed pregnant this long. Like, you have a really good chance. Riley has a really, really good chance. So I made it to 29 weeks exactly. I woke up that Sunday morning and I just knew it was time. And it was unfortunately the only time I was by myself at the hospital. Dr. Clausen was making rounds and I pulled the little handle for her to come running in. And I was like, I think I'm having a baby right now. And she looked at me and she said, whatever you do, don't move. Don't push, don't do anything. She's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop your bleeding if he comes out this way. And that was the first time I felt really scared and looked at her. I'm like, no, I have a 4-year-old at home. Like, he needs his mom to come home. Like, you have to save me. And that's when she said, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to have a C-section. Rushed me back for the C-section. That's when they took him and he was lifeless. I'll never forget it. It felt like my spirit left my body, my soul, and then I was watching it from the ceiling and I just saw Riley and then the room was silent and I was like, is he okay? Is he okay? Somebody just tell me, and nobody would tell me. And Dr. Morrow, he knew, I think he could see me panicking out there. And so he came out because I could see the resuscitation room and I could see them working on him. And he came out and he's like, I am gonna do everything I can to save your baby, but he's really, really sick.
Dr. Morrow had a heck of a time reviving him right at birth. When you're born so early, it's one complication after the next going through that process. Like, his lungs weren't even strong enough to hold oxygen.
His lungs had collapsed due to abruption and all of the hemorrhaging. We had to have chest tubes in. They were really just trying to get him to increase his oxygen levels and they just weren't going up. And so Dr. Morrow, bless his heart, he came in and talked to Gerald and I and he's like, hey, this is crazy. This may not even work. This may be actually what ends his life. But he's like, I think if we give him a blood transfusion, it might increase his oxygen, his red blood cell count. So they gave him the blood transfusion and little by little, it was crazy to watch his saturations increase, to watch him need less help from the oscillator, to watch him be able to go to a traditional event. It's what he needed and it's ultimately what saved his life.
I don't think we can do the majority of the work we do here at RiverBend without the support of Children's Miracle Network. My job is to say, when is it safer to be on the outside rather than the inside? And knowing the tools we have here and the team we have here is so helpful to make that decision just a little bit easier.
We love Children's Miracle Network. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how they contributed to Riley's care for the longest time. And then everyone kind of started telling us, the oscillator he was on, that was funded by Children's Miracle Network. The little x-ray machine that looks like a giraffe that came in and took images, part of that was funded by the Children's Miracle Network. We just feel indebted to everybody at RiverBend for all the care.
You know, hugely important for us to be a part of all their events and help them raise as many funds as they can. Again, going back to equipment or guiding parents and families through this process. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to get through it.
It gives families hope that they maybe not have had prior to coming into a situation like this. Future's wide open for Riley. He's gonna be whatever he wants to be one day. Watch out if he's ever president. Buckle up, everyone. He's gonna be something great.
Riley's definitely a little hard-headed, a little stubborn. He's violent at times. You have to like, hey, be careful with that club that you're swinging. We're playing mini golf. He's attacking people.
I like to bike ride to Riley. If we want to play like a game on the slip and slide we got Riley.
He has an opinion about just about everything. He's crazy, he's fearless, he scares me. BMX, motocross, scary things that will make me have a heart attack one day.
He's the best brother to me. Best brother I could ever have.
We know without a doubt if it wasn't for Children's Miracle Network and the providers at RiverBend that we wouldn't be having this conversation today.